Ian 2 Roberts Miniatures. Today we're going to launch a new little project, and this project is a Civilization 5 project. Now, Civilization 5 is a computer game where you pick a civilizations that are represented in the game. They range from Polynesia to England to Germany to America to the Incas to the Aztecs to the Dutch to the French to the Swedish, etc., etc. You've also got the Siam, and what you do in the game is you start off with one settler and one warrior, and you try and build up a nation of cities, and you compete with the other players in the game. You can play multiplayer online, or there's different there's different scenarios you can play, and then you can play just an ordinary single player game. It's a game that's very popular and one that I have played a lot of, probably to the detriment of painting miniatures. So this is a little project based on this game, and what I hope to do is create a model and paint a model based on each of the different civilizations. Now, it may be the case that what I had planned originally was to do a leader from each of the different civilizations. So, for example, you would use Queen Elizabeth, you would get a model of Queen Elizabeth, you would get a model of Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan, Bismarck, Ramkhan, Trollface. I can't actually remember his name, but there's different people who play the game a lot, and that's his nickname, Ramkhan Trollface from Siam, Ashurbanipal, Alexander the Great. Now, some of the models in the game, or some of the leaders in the game, I don't think I'll be able to find a model for. So, for example, if I can't find a suitable model for Queen Elizabeth, I will do an English bowman. Ultimately, I would like to do all 30 or so leaders, but I may not be able to find a model that I like that's going to represent them. Catherine the Great might be difficult, and I wanted sort of to look a little bit like the character in the game. You know, I could probably get Catherine the Great, a model that would represent Catherine the Great, but unless it's got the same dress or that same style, I'm not really that interested. I would prefer to have something that looks like what's in the game. If I can't, I will maybe, for example, if I can't get a Boudica that I like, I might just do some Pictish warriors, or find like a Celtic spearman and sort of get it looking like the unit in the game or something like that. It's a bit open ended at the moment. I'm just going to try and get something that represents each of the different civilizations, because I think I haven't really painted many historical miniatures. So in front of you, the little metal model is Augustus, who's the leader of Sweden, Gustav Adolphus. So I think it'd be quite nice to paint some historical miniatures. Horses, which I'm awful at painting at, I'm going to have to work on that, especially on this miniature. And it's also going to lead to probably a little bit of converting and things. So it's something that's going to A, develop my skills, and B, challenge me in different ways. It's not just going to be about giving a skeleton an undercoat and a wash. It's not going to be, doing a dwarf, blue cloak, purple gloves, crossbow, or a dark green space marine with a little bit of red on it to represent dark angels. I'm going to have to do more skin colours. There's different races. So, for example, there's China, there's Korea, there's some of the African nations. You have Shaka from the Zulu. You have got the Native Americans. You've got the Iroquois and the Shoshone, or the Shoshone. These are going to be a challenge in that I'm going to have to do different tones on the skin, and I'll also have to take the colour schemes from the game and try and put it onto the models. Now, the first model I actually have, as I said, is Augustus, and over the coming weeks, well, hopefully less than that, I'm going to get him painted up, of the horse cleaned, and he will be the first thing is going to get painted, and I'm not great at painting horses, and thankfully there isn't. He doesn't actually. You don't actually see him on a horse in the game, so I'll not have to worry about getting the same colour. But the rest of the model will be painted up as his colour scheme. So I think he's got a ginger beard, so I'll have to try and represent that. And it's just a little project that's going to challenge me and get me painting different things and doing different things and doing green stuffing and different things like that. So it's just going to be a bit of a challenge over the next couple of years to challenge my modelling skills and get me doing a little bit more. And it's a computer game I love, and again, it may encourage other people to either play Civ 5, or maybe some Civ 5 players might come across this video and think, ah, that's a good idea. There is people who dedicate their lives to the game. You know, you look online and there's people with hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube, giving out tips and tricks, and some of them are quite entertaining, some of them are terrible, but it's a game that has a big following, so maybe people might see this video and decide to either get into modelling or might find an interest in it. So this is the Civ 5 project. Hopefully there'll be regular updates over the next couple of weeks about Augustus, and then or Gustav, sorry, and then what we'll do is we'll go on to our next model. I have no idea who it could be. Maybe I'll look for a Queen Victoria, or I may try and get a Zulu warrior to represent Shaka, or I might see what Warlord Games have. This is a Warlord Games model, I've probably mentioned that already, but I'll look to see what they have. I know they have a Boudica on a chariot, and I'm sure the likes of Foundry Games and a lot of the smaller miniature producers will have suitable models. So it'll be a bit of internet searching, and any suggestions you have, let me know. And I'll stop this video now. It's longer than I expected. I just talked for a bit longer than I normally do. So thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you.